Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, August 28th, 2018. Just going to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks has a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. I hope you had a good weekend and that your week is getting off to a good start. I am filming this at about 10 to 9 on Tuesday morning and the futures look to be starting off a little bit in the green. So with that, let's get into today's video. If you know me, you know I always start my videos off with a look at the Russell Index. I use the Russell as my guide. As long as the Russell's moving higher, I'm adding new names to my watch list. And when it's moving lower, I'm being careful and defensive. So I always like to step back and take a look at things on the 5-year monthly chart. So we're looking at the IWM, which is the ETF for the Russell 2000. And we're looking at the 5-year monthly chart. So these are monthly candles. The only indicator on my chart is this blue 8-day EMA. These lines here are short-term support, medium, and long. So kind of ignoring these ones down here for now and just focusing in on this area up here. So as you can see, price is up and over the blue 8-day EMA, and we're going to get a bullish candle so far, unless something dramatic happens, for the month of August. So let's move it away from the monthly to the weekly. And if you're a regular viewer, then you know that I like to see price on the Russell up and over the blue 8-day EMA, ideally on the weekly and daily chart, but it's, as a rule, it just has to be up and over the daily. But as you can see, we had a bullish candle last week, and it's up and over the blue on the weekly. Now let's go take a look at the daily. Up and over the blue on the daily. Had a little bit of softness come in yesterday, so I want to see how the candles complete the day today. They're starting off with some strength, but I want to see that strength continue to cancel out the wick that we saw on the Russell yesterday. So keep that in mind when we go over our new chart for our watch list. And the chart that I wanted to feature for you this morning is Kirkland Lake Gold, ticker symbol KL. This is a dual listed company. It trades on both the Toronto and NASDAQ exchange under the same ticker symbol KL. We are looking at it on the US side. Before I get into the chart, though, I want to tell you a little bit more about the company. They were formerly Newmarket Gold. They're a Canadian gold mining company headquartered in Canada. You know me at Chart of the Day Cafe. I am all about the scores underneath my charts. I'm rigorous about screening for value and growth. And I can tell you that Kirkland Lake has an excellent value score, as well as a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 41%. It's got a current PE of 13.34 and pays a small dividend of 0.46%. So with that, let's get into the chart. We are looking at the 2-year weekly. You can see the 2-year weekly chart is in an uptrend, gentle uptrend. It came into this high up here at about $24, but it's since come in. Looks to be consolidating to me, but it's rested right on my area of support resistance. So I'm going to drill down into this area right here. So I'm going to move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 6-month daily. And I like the way it's behaving here at my area of support. This looked like it might have been some capitulation selling, because if you look at it on the weekly chart, it was pretty heavy. So you want to be aware of that. But it looks like the buyers might start to resume coming in right about here. So let's go back to our daily. We've identified this area of support. Now I'm going to zoom it in even further, take you to the 3-month, and you know me, if you're a regular viewer, you know that I like to see price up and over the blue 8-day EMA. So I want to see a closing candle today that is strong and bullish and that engulfs this blue 8-day EMA. When I say EMA, I mean exponential moving average. So keeping an eye on Kirkland Lake. Really like it in this area, and we'll be looking for lift up and into my green circle. Along with my new watch list pick, I also like to take a look at the sector that it's in, and for that we're looking at XME, which is the ETF for the metals and mining space. 2-year weekly chart. You can see it's in a gentle uptrend overall, has come into this area of support, and with continued strength in this space should lift from here, we will see. So that's the weekly look. I like to see the doji from last week, and here is the daily. So price is up and over the blue as I like to see it, and I will be looking for continued strength on this chart as well today. So we want to see a nice bullish candle that stays up and over the blue that matches up with our chart on KL. Along with this ETF, I like to take a look at seasonality, and for that I go over to equityclock.com. Although I could not find a seasonal chart specific to Kirkland Lake, I did find this gold futures chart. So as you can see, gold starts to come into some seasonal favor at this time of year as well. So that's a good data point to know. Along with that, I'm also going to include a link to this video. Normally I go over to FinViz, but there weren't any an analyst section on FinViz for Kirkland Lake. It's kind of a smaller Canadian gold mining company, but I did find this interview for you on Canada's BNM Bloomberg with Rick Rule. He is discussing Kirkland Lake. It's a very favorable interview. It's worth listening to. And so to quickly recap, let's go back and check the boxes for Kirkland Lake. I started today's video with a look at the Russell Index, and we note that overall the Russell is in an uptrend with price currently up and over that 8-day EMA on both the daily and weekly 5-year chart. We looked at the 2-year chart for Kirkland Lake, and we note that it is at an area of support and possible price strength continuation. Emphasis on possible. It's all about price staying up and over the blue 8-day EMA. We looked at the 2-year chart for the sector XME, which is the metals and mining ETF, and we note that like Kirkland Lake, it's in a gentle uptrend on the 2-year chart and sitting at an area of support. Kirkland Lake has an excellent value score, really high value score, and a current forecasted earnings growth rate of 41%. Pays a small dividend of 0.46%. It does not have that 3 and 8 EMA daily cross that I look for, but I'll be watching for it in the next couple of days. It's got seasonality in its favor because gold comes into seasonal favor at this time of year. And analyst support, nothing listed on FinViz, which I normally refer to, but I am including the interview with Rick Rule, who's very favorable reviews on Kirkland Lake. It's got a current PE of 13.34, and they are past their latest round of earnings. Thank you for watching today's video. As a reminder, they go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. With that, I will leave you. Have a great rest of the week and see you Thursday.